Beyond Now Expert Talk by Siemens.
Hello to Beyond Now Expert Talk. And today's topic is big. It's about the next big thing, how companies can adopt winning digital strategies in production. I have the pleasure to have two experts here on board. It's Axel Lawrence, Head of Automation Products and Systems, and Erik Hjertas from Norway, Head of Packaging Technologies at Tonrad. Gentlemen, welcome in the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we want to talk about the next big thing. And I mean, to be honest, if I know what is the next big thing, I would be maybe a millionaire. So it would be rather interesting. What is your opinion about the next big thing in digital strategies in production? So my first question will be, have a look what's going on during the lockdown, because we are all in this situation, which is still a little bit exceptional. So my question to you, Axel, is what do you have seen as a rise of digital tools in this time, and about collaboration and how to manage that in industries?
Yes, we have. We have seen an increase. Digital tools and collaborative engineering has been a topic before the lockdown, but has become increasingly important during the lockdown because just some of the facts. At one time, 50% of our top 100 customers closed their factory, and that had an impact not only on them and their production, but also on the OEMs and solution partners as well. And all of them need a bigger flexibility in production, and everybody needs to become more competitive. And last but not least, everybody wants to use the time getting prepared for the startup again. So there was a great interest from our customers in simulation and engineering, and software has to become more flexible and more efficient, and we are very happy to support.
Erik, when we have talked before the show a little bit, my impression was that Tonrad is already a company which is rather, let's say, focused on digital tools and digital innovations. So now stepping into this exceptional situation with COVID-19 and the lockdown. So has this now pay off that you are this openness toward digitalization and digital tools?
Yeah, I would say yes to that. Actually, the first week when the lockdown happened, we were in the progress of validating quite new machinery in Russia. So we were going there, but the flight was cancelled. And we actually managed to do the validation without being on site by the use of simulation and getting the feedback on IoT data from the machine. We had online cameras. And actually that went quite well, because working from remote and using digital tools actually gave me the opportunity to use more people solving issues and problems than if there had been one guy single alone on the site getting all the pain from the customer. But in this case, we split it on 7. So yeah, I would say that since we had experience and since we already worked with digital tools, we could utilize them when we needed them. So that was a good experience.
To add to that, I think, Erik, a lot of that also has to do with preparation, right?
Yeah, because if you haven't started using them, it's a little bit too late when the crisis occurs. So the fact that we were using them, that we already did simulation on the PLC code, actually helped us a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a more easier start for you to adapt to the new situation, isn't it?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things about digitalization is that you have to start using the tools to see the future opportunities that lies there and get experience. And then you also see what else you can start using, because it's a shorter mileage to start using new things when you have begin with something else. So that was a part of it, yeah.
But to me, it was amazing as well, because I heard this story now often that customers and machinery companies were now working in this kind of collaboration way for, let's make the approval for the machines, which has been normally done before, everything on site. So everybody needs to come together, make the approval, the test runs and stuff like that. Now it was a pure need to do this pure digital. But even the customers are telling now, hey, this was a good experience. We save time by that, because we don't need to travel, 5 people to a site, stay there for 2 days and stuff like that. So to me, maybe that's also one good lessons even for the customers that they can optimize their processes there as well?
Mm. Yeah, I would say yes to that, and also a drive from our customer now, since we're building machines and they are not complete until they're installed and up and running. And since we can't go on site to do that, the customer now demands us to actually offer them remote technology that enables us to still, as you explained, do the commissioning by cameras, lenses, glasses, whatever, to convince them that this could be shipped. And actually, when coming to site, they need to assemble it with assistance from us and put it into operation.
Yeah, so, and this really is now a deep dive to the next big thing. I think so, because as you said, this is something about having processes in presence where you look on something, but you have the digital layers as well, and you do all the simulations. So, which is, I think, rather tied to the digital twin idea. So to me, a little bit in the past, like challenging you, Axel, a little bit was, oh yes, if we talk about digital twin, we are talking about technologies which can be used from large enterprises, like large organizations. Now we see Tonrad, which is a small and medium-sized company. So my question to you is it still rather a sophisticated technology, or have we reached a level where we can say, well, even the small and medium enterprises can leverage from digital twin technologies?
Yeah. Well, there's definitely a change going on. But to start with, actually, this situation is where the different digital twins come to play. And there are specific tools which do support the different requirements, phases, and tasks. So to start with, yeah, there's a digital twin of the product, and that is created with tools to design and optimize the product in a 3D environment, which then can be linked to a 3D printer or as well to production machines. Or you use the data and create the next step, use it as an input for production, as for the production digital twin, which can also be created by tools in parallel in order to design and simulate and optimize machines or even manufacturing lines. And at the end, you have the digital twin of the performance, which will help to analyze and increase the performance of the entire production. And the different tools which will support the design, the simulation, and the optimization are there in order to support the different tasks. So the tools help you generate automation software and facilitate the virtual commissioning or even the training of the operator. If I put all of that together and want to do everything in one plant, yes, it is very sophisticated, but we can take it one step after the other, one step at a time, and include it in your processes. For example, you can start with a simulation of the machine and do the virtual commissioning. That can add to the digital twin in total, but you don't have to start with the whole thing from the beginning.
So more easier to handle, which is a good point to ask Eric, because you are using the tools on your practical engineering processes. So what have you been done to step into this world, digital twin world, and how do you use it now?
Well, I think Axel mentioned something important. You have to do it step by step. You can't grasp all of it at once. You have to start somewhere. And we started out with making a digital twin with the 3D CAD data. We ran it with the PLC to see if it actually worked, what we had designed. But now we are starting to see other possibilities. We are actually using the same twin to do predictive maintenance. That means that we take data from the machine when it operates, and we can actually use that on the model and predict when we need to maintain it. And that is part of the future. So start step by step, and we are starting to utilize more and more of what lies in the digital twin. You can put so much data into it that it's tremendous, but you can also gain a lot of it. So also we recently purchased not a Siemens product, but HoloLens, and using now remote assistant to help our clients. And that means that we can show them in the glasses. We can actually show them the model running and help them analyze problems and get things into operation again. So starting with the digital twin, and then we put on layers by layers and learning by doing. That is our actually way of doing things.
And what you said is it's also a rather cool example because it shows it's also about ecosystems, how to sharing the data between different applications and players. It's not only about monolith solutions, it's about how you can share the things between the best applications. So, but there's also there's always this promising of new technology that new technology will help to save costs, to make processes more leaner and stuff like that. And sometimes if we look into reality, it's maybe the story is more complex. So I will challenge Axel a little bit, like, okay, come on, Axel, tell me some true stories where people, companies have really saved monies or get process optimizations using digital twins.
I can start with my own experience. Before the responsibility I have right now, I was responsible in process automation also for a solution business. And already years ago, we started to really create a digital twin and generate simulation software for every application software that we engineer and commission to a customer. And we took the effort to do that because the savings in time during the commissioning and in not having faults anymore, faulty software on site was just so significant that we thought we want to do that as a standard every time. But I also have some external examples. For example, there's the company TankWrap, and they are using our design tools in order to really, save time in manufacturing. And they say that they save between 30 and 40% in the development cost just by prototyping virtually with the product digital twin. Or another example, which is quite known, is a company Bausch & Ströbel, and we have shown that at fairs. I've personally presented that at fairs. And Bausch & Ströbel are creating a digital twin for the machine in order to do virtual commissioning, which is very similar to what Eric also has been experiencing. And just for the savings out of the virtual commissioning, they save like 20 to 30% during the commissioning. But also they gain benefits on the reliability, and they're really revealing defects that they can correct in the virtual twin and in the software before they run into a problem. Because something that I've learned is if you are doing virtual commissioning for software, it is the time you save. If it's combined with a machine, you may also run into a defect that you created because your software was not working properly. And that is going to even add on the time that you lose. So that is one of the things where the digital twin really helps you. And last but not least, there's a company, a partner SN Maschinenbau in Germany, who saved significant time in the commissioning and in the setup with a customer. And they say they save up to a week for each machine, which is quite significant to them. So there are real savings of companies that I know. And last but not least, I would hand over to Eric, because he would probably be able to add to my list of partners and customers who are able to gain benefits.
So Eric, what is your biggest benefit here?
Yeah, well, let's be honest. To put more data into a model actually takes longer time. So yes, you spend a little bit more time in the beginning. So you have to see the benefits in the long run. And one of them is what is mentioned now, commissioning. It's quite obvious that quite fast you will save about 25% when you commission a machine, because you don't break down when you start running it, and the software is almost ready to run when you start up. So there's a part where you save. But I would say that the other things we have seen is, since data into the model not only comes from the designer, it comes from software, it comes from the electrical engineer. They now all work together a little bit earlier in the project, and they can work a little bit smarter and more different than earlier. And that saves time to market, which in the long run is quite important, since all customers today demand shorter delivery times on new stuff. So yes, we save time to market, and we do save time on commissioning. And I think also we will see in the future that we actually gain more products we can offer our clients, because predictive maintenance and smarter things to add on, more intelligent solutions, is what we will gain in the future. Yeah.
And predictive maintenance is a good topic, because it shows also that this digital twin idea is all about the life cycle. So it's about engineering, production, manufacturing, setting up the machine, running the machine, reconfiguration, and maintenance. So the model is much more. It's not only a static model on a current time. It's a model changing over time. So, and this is, I think, big. I mean, we are talking about next big things. So I think this is really big in the idea of a digital twin. So, but on the other side, I think you need tools to do that. So because it's a life cycle. So there's not only one tool involved. Obviously, there will be many tools involved. So, Axel, can you tell a little bit more about the toolings which are needed to make this vision to a reality?
Oh, I would love to. But one more thing. I think that I agree with you. It is a real big thing. But then again, we look at the whole change over the entire life cycle, and the benefits are great, but then the whole beast becomes sophisticated again, and a lot of people are shied away. Don't be shied away. We can create that big thing one step after the other because we do have tools that can help you. The one important thing is this will drive standardization at our customers, at the OEMs for their machines or at the end customers for their lines and for their manufacturing, because that standardization will reduce the time that you need to implement the simulation and the model to begin with, and you have bigger benefits and you have more to compare. Now, what are the tools? Once we have that digital twin at our disposal, of course, there are possibilities to create and simulate. To start really at the beginning of the process, of course, we have very strong software from Technomatics, from our colleagues from the software side, like NX for 3D design and simulation that really helps us to create the product and delivers a lot of benefits there. And then, of course, we can also have tools to design the machine or even the line, which is part of the NX software with a tool, the Mechatronics Designer. It is called NX MCD. And we do have different simulation tools. I've been used in my past personally a tool called Zimit that is more out of the process automation, but also used in factory automation that helps us really to do simulation in the loop. It is from automation people for automation people. But we also have tools like PLC Sim Advanced that help us really to simulate the controller and is very well connected to our engineering software of the TIA portal and really helps our customer to do virtual commissioning. And save a lot of time. And yes, of course, we also have plant simulate tools that help us to even simulate a plant and optimize the production processes and the logistic processes in a plant. So there are several different tools that play into each other and help our customers to create step by step the digital twin or the different digital twins over the entire life cycle and really reap all those benefits to our customer.
And if we talk about digital, we need to talk about cybersecurity as well, because this can only work. I mean, if the data models are protected, if the data is protected, if the communication is protected, and even if the software is protected in behind. So, can you tell a little bit more about what is your thoughts on cybersecurity here?
So yes, we have to protect our customers' installations. And in order to do that, we provide hardware and we do provide software. A partner business unit, another business unit within DI is providing industrial communication products and hardware and software to keep our networks from our customers safe, even in an industrial environment. Beyond that, we also provide network management software in order to secure, but we also provide training and consulting. Because even the best product is not sufficient. I have personally experienced a customer who had a great antivirus software, but he was not blocking the USB ports. Well, this is not going to help you. So it needs to be an overall strategy, and we have to make sure that we see the overall picture and that we come to an overall solution that is secure. So we are partnering with other suppliers and other companies in order to keep our software stack up to date, and we are distributing patches if available. And cloud technology will really help us, but also our customers and partners to distribute those patches into the plants. And then in addition, we do have specialists that even try to intrude our own system. I mean, I'm serious. We have specialists, and I'm not going to go in detail, who are hackers and trying to intrude our own products in order to help us to make them even more safe. And all of that knowledge we do share with our partners, whether it is in consulting or whether it's in training, in order to come to a really solution security strategy and to a solution. So I just ask all of our customers and partners, please take advantage of our offering and of the information we share.
So let's ask a customer. Eric, Eric, what are you doing towards security when you're stepping into this digital twin, digital transformation world?
Come on, Eric.
Easy to answer nothing? No. No, of course it's important for us, but we are a small company, so we don't have this huge IT department helping us out. But we rely on cooperation with our supplier. In this case, it's Siemens, which we use a lot of products from. So we rely on using products which are widely used and talking to their experts to help us out and actually offering the right equipment to our customers and using the right ones ourselves. So yeah, we rely on standard technology, and of course we are trying to do the best out of it and be aware of what's going on out there.
Which is even, I think, a lesson learned. You need to do that towards cybersecurity. You can't do it alone. It's
No,
like
we can't.
you need to go into cooperation with experts, companies. It's something you're completely lost if you try to solve this alone. But even it's sometimes a lesson people need to learn. So we are almost at the end of the show, almost. So
yes.
famous last words.
Well, I would like to say just with the 3 words, just do it, but I could explain a little bit more. It's if you start using tools and digitalization, you will quite soon you will see the benefits. And start doing it together with good clients and cooperate with good suppliers, because then you will get the help you need to go ahead, and you will get the good progress in what you're doing. You need to be more people together to actually solve big issues. So the cooperation with the suppliers and our clients is the most important thing. But again, you have to start using the tools, and then you will see the benefits.
Cool. So, Axel, your famous last words?
Well, the lockdown and the pandemic has a lot of very difficult and negative sides. But on the other side, it was also a compelling event that motivated us to take more advantage of tools and of the digital twins that we have, and it helps us to increase our competitiveness and our productivity, especially when we go back and get out of the lockdown, and it's going to help our customers and partners. So I can only say, please take advantage of our offerings, of our support, and create the new normal in automation that we all will experience once we all get out of the lockdown.
Well, create a new normal in automation. I like it. And we were talking about the next big thing, and we were talking a lot about digital twins. To me, most impressive lessons learned is, okay, it's maybe, if you look at from the big picture, it looks complicated. But if there is something complicated, just try to solve it step by step and step in. And try and do. I think this is the most important lessons. And even what we have seen with the lockdown, then people are forced to do. But it's very good if you are prepared, and so start now. I think that's the main thing I got from this talk. Gentlemen, it was really a pleasure to have you in. I learned a lot. I hope as well the audience liked it. So this was Beyond Now. Thanks for watching the show.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Siemens, ingenuity for life.